Welcome back to Mostly Technical, fake Ian Landsman, who is also Caleb Porzio.
Oh,
and
dude. How did I not practice my impression since the last time I attempted it?
I don't know. You got a lot of feedback.
I did think a way to improve the impression is just to do a Seinfeld impression.
That
with
is
Ian.
that
Just
is
be
the
like,
best way to, yes.
Be like, no, Aaron, no.
Yes.
I love
That's
perfect.
my new Ian impression.
Ian's
is
always
perfect.
squeaking. He's always like squeaking, and I'm really excited to say the next thing.
He is, but he's also always holding back and letting me finish talking. So it's the perfect combo. He's always very excited, but he lets me finish. And welcome to the pod, Mr. Daniel Coulbourne.
Not holding back, not letting you finish. Carry
The
on.
deek is in the
Yes.
hole.
Yes.
As they say.
There are some people, there are maybe 4 people that listen to this show that don't listen to y'all's show. But it's probably just the 4 of them. So you two have a show together called No Plans to Merge, which you record sometime.
We used to record it a lot.
You used to record it a lot more.
So yeah.
Now it's just whenever the mood strikes you, which frankly is not often enough, which is why this
almost
show
never.
exists.
We hate recording. But yes, that's true. And Aaron, this is kind of a full circle moment, Aaron Francis. Like,
Tell me.
We're on your show. You were an all-star listener of No Plans to Merge.
I was a reply guy.
He was
You were a reply guy. That's how I knew of your name. It was just like, like certain people like Matt Swanson or whatever, like they just become a name that we know because like, oh yeah, this like listener replied this very good point and good response to this thing or whatever. And then like, what was his name? And then eventually we start kind of getting the name right. And
Eventually it sticks.
And at this point, I think I'm a reply guy. I think
exactly. We're just reply
become
guys.
reply guy.
We're just, yes.
I remember one of the funniest bits. This was back when I was building the shed quarters and I was listening to like all the episodes of No Plans to Merge, just back episodes to get through them all. And still to this day, one of the funniest bits is, I think it was Caleb that was talking about meeting up with this billionaire guy. He's like, yeah, he's this billionaire Christian guy. And Daniel says, no such thing. And it just kept going. Caleb barely acknowledged it, but Daniel said, no such thing. It's one of my favorite bits.
That's good. I was trying to remember who the guy was.
My mom every once in a while will message me a throwaway bit that Caleb didn't acknowledge and she caught, and I was like, "Thank you, mother. Glad you're listening very attentively."
I feel
like I do that too. I feel like Daniel has so many good throwaway bits,
and I try to acknowledge them because, like, when you're talking to Daniel, it can be a difficult thing, like. It's like, are we can we, and just the other day, I don't know if you got this, Daniel, but we're on a call and he said, oh, it was some like deep VeggieTales reference. And it was just, I just said something, it was like, meet me in St. Louis or something. It wasn't that, but it's something to that effect. And he just like dropped it super quick, but I'm in the middle of like, I'm already on the soapbox. And I just keep going. And I tried to work it back into conversation to tell you that I knew about it. But this is talking to Daniel, they're loaded,
and they're just like the best part is he doesn't give his own comments too much credit. Like he doesn't like say
he's not waiting for a reaction.
Wait for a big laugh. It's just
no.
If you appreciated it, you'll doubly appreciate it. But if you missed it, you missed it. Like sorry,
it's not for you. It's like I have a dopamine disorder that can only be fulfilled by saying this right now.
I think in the last episode, Caleb said something like, "Yeah, I do that," and Daniel went doo-doo, and that was it. he just whispered doo-doo into the mic.
Yep. Doo-doo is one of those ones at this point. I think I recorded literally a podcast today.
I listened to it this morning, and
said I think doo-doo. I said doo-doo.
Yeah.
And it's like, and in that split second, it's like, do I acknowledge the doo-doo? You got to acknowledge it. You got to at least acknowledge doo-doo. Okay, so this is all true. Aaron, welcome to the show.
Hey, yeah, thanks. Thanks for having me on Mostly No Plans to Merge. It is good to be here. I am honored. We have some topics. I know you guys are freewheeling. You don't do topics, but I got some topics.
I appreciate the discipline.
Okay, we don't have to talk about them. I got some topics. I'm going to give you a rundown, and then we can talk about any or none. I gotta pick one. We talk about any or some of these topics that you want to talk about in any order, and then you can also throw out your own topics that we can intersperse, because these are very Aaron centric. I gotta be honest. Okay, here we go. Topics are our Linda, whose name is Kelsey, started last week. I went to Boise. I recorded a podcast in the Kit Studios, which is previously ConvertKit. A little Twitter X thing going on there. Steve was in the hospital for an entire week. And Laracon is next week, and you're both speaking. So that's the list I have.
You're doing something there too, aren't you?
I am, yes. I am not speaking, but I will be speaking, if that makes sense.
So why are you not speaking, Aaron?
I'm not giving a talk.
Yeah, I know. Why are you not giving a talk?
I don't have it in me. I got too many kids.
I'm really proud of you, Aaron.
Yeah,
this is a very good move. How pumped are you? How pumped do you just feel like this is gonna be amazing?
I feel so pumped.
Literally,
honestly.
Just going to hang out. I mean, you got to MC, but
Yeah, but MCing is like it's jazz. You can't prepare anything. I don't know anything about jazz, but from what I understand, they don't prepare.
It's very
anything.
much like MCing.
Yeah, and so you just get up there and you just bebop and you just you're like, hey, how's your father? How we doing? Here we go, next guy, and that's kind of it.
Brief question. Like Aaron, just to ignore all your topic
jazz
recommendations.
Yeah, I'm glad
brief
I
question.
listed those out. Yeah,
it's in Dallas. This is not a coincidence. You need to tell us. Did you message Taylor?
Did you shoot?
Are you the reason this is?
Am I the puppet master?
Are you on the grassy knoll?
There's no way that in a time period of Aaron's life where it's not like easy to block out a bunch of time to go travel somewhere. It's in his backyard. Give it to us. Give it to us straight.
It's a little suspicious, isn't it?
Yeah, suspect.
Well, Taylor and I talk. We talk at maybe one message every month or so. So we're like, we're super tight.
In Taylor terms,
that's a lot.
That's a lot.
That's a whole lot. Sometimes
anointed.
I'll message him and he'll respond with "yeah," and I'm like, "I made it." You said yeah.
We just had a fruitful conversation.
So, a while back, I heard he was checking out Dallas, and I messaged him and said something like, I would love for Laracon to be in Dallas, and I think he hit me with a thumbs up. So I guess you could say I'm a power broker. I don't know.
Right.
Kingmaker.
Yeah. I mean, I'm pulling the strings back here.
Legit.
It's to my advantage, I must admit, that I do not have to travel anywhere.
How brutal is it right now? Like, should we all be mad at you?
Life
for doing
or
this?
weather?
Weather.
Oh. I'm not gonna lie, it's gonna be pretty bad. It's gonna be pretty bad. Yeah.
Okay.
It's gonna be bad. If you're like staying, I think Dave Eeking, producer Dave, friend of the pod Dave, is staying like 10-minute walk from the venue. And he's like, yeah, I'm gonna walk. And I looked up the route, and it's like under a 6-lane highway, and it's gonna be literally 105 degrees. I'm kind of
well, and then underneath the highway it'll be 175, right?
Yeah, probably.
Emissions.
Yeah, we have a little bit of a heat dome going on here in Dallas. That's one thing we have going for us, is it doesn't get cool at night. So if it's hot during the day, it's going to be hot at night. So that's awesome.
Nothing like being hot at night.
No,
right.
We love that. Yeah. So that rooftop bar, whatever, the After Dark, I think it's on a rooftop bar. Oh, it's going to be hot. So hopefully it's inside. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, last year we had to all go to the rooftop to escape the deafening noise of a band on each floor.
True.
We had to go to the rooftop and still shout in each other's faces.
Yeah. So we're going to really have to do some volume management. So I'm going to delegate to you to be on top of that.
Yeah. Contrary to what you may believe, I don't know every proprietor of restaurants here in Dallas, and so I don't really have an in or an advantage.
Well, no, but you know how to talk to people down there.
I do.
True.
Yeah, that is a good point. I
might get
that
shot
is a good point.
if I just approach.
Although you do not sound like you're from Dallas, as far as Dallas accents that I know, which are very few. But right, like you have a pretty mild Texas accent, right?
I appreciate that. That's what I'm going for.
Very
mild. Here in Dallas, we don't have a lot of accents, in my opinion. Out east, pretty strong Texas accents.
All hell West Texas, yeah.
And out west as well, out in Lubbock, you get a lot more accents. But here in Dallas, not so much a thing. We're big city folk,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, oh yeah. This is all great news, Aaron Francis, about Laracon.
Yeah.
Yeah, music at Laracon, like as a music person, you're just trained to like hate the people who just want to talk and don't want to hear your music.
Mm-hmm.
But in a situation like that, it's like, I wish this could work, but just basically never play live music around a conference for me, you know?
Yeah. Last year I felt so much secondhand embarrassment for the band that went on in the venue.
Yeah,
because
right. Everybody just like cleared the room.
Walked out.
So like, oh well, now we can't be in this room.
Now we can't talk. So and there was one guy, Brandon Baer from whatever his service is. He like sat on the third row and listened to the band, and I was like, "Good for you, Brandon. That's nice.
Yeah,
respectful.
Dude,
yeah,
right. That's a good guy, right there.
Flight control. Yeah, that's a good guy.
Yeah,
but yeah, I was like, I felt so much. I had to leave out of secondhand embarrassment because I was like, I can't imagine.
It was hard.
I mean, I can. I've done it. I've given a talk to absolutely nobody, and it was traumatic. So I don't want to see this again.
Okay, well, let's actually cover one of your topics.
Oh wow. Okay.
Torchlight.
No, that wasn't on the list.
We just have to follow up. We just have to follow up that Aaron did send me. He found the database.
I found the database.
Are you following this, Daniel? Did you hear about this Torchlight situation? Okay.
Yeah,
so
Daniel, I want to hear your thoughts on it because I think Caleb's crazy. But I found the database, 3,600 users in the database, which is a lot. That's better than a poke in the eye. So I think there is something that can be done there. Oh, many tens of dollars.
Very good.
Yeah. So let's say, I mean, these are better than just people on an email list because they're actually using your thing, and you can see how recently they've made API requests, right?
Yes.
So let's say maybe could you convert 20% of these
to what?
To paying customers?
No.
Okay.
I don't think so.
Why?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think people are going to pay more than $5 for syntax highlighting.
I think Caleb's argument from last week is correct, which is if you run a business that makes money off of code and you're hosting documentation, whether that's open source, whether that's like I'm Sentry and these are my Laravel integration docs or whatever, right? Like those people want to not think about it and have the best thing for some money is fine.
So you're on team Caleb here.
Why do you hate money, Aaron?
Okay, we've already been over this. I do not
love
clear, money
I
because it is the root of all kinds of evil. But I like it a lot.
That kinds of is doing a lot of work,
isn't it? Yeah. I don't know if that's ESV or not. Yeah, that might be revisionist. Actually, maybe it is actually the root of all evil. Yeah.
I just want to be clear that I just wanted to follow up so the listener could hear the numbers and they could make their own decision. I'm still not sure it's a good idea at all, but I like Ian's thing. It's like, just pay somebody else, go 50-50. They do all the work and then let them like make you money. Why not? You know?
I got a couple. You should do that. I think you should.
You think I should do that?
Yeah. Why not?
Partner up with Thunk.
No, don't partner with us.
They don't want to do it.
There's not enough here for us.
Daniel,
you should do it, Thunk. I'll give you 50%.
I don't think 50% is enough. But for someone else who wants to do it,
some other loser who doesn't need money like you do.
I mean, for a 22-year-old fresh out of internet college, Jeffrey Way's internet college, that could be a stream of income.
Thing. Yeah, could be a thing. Yeah, I got a couple of yo dudes after Ian said that. Yo dude pick me.
Dude, I yo duded Ian. By the way, after his thing, I yo duded him.
What did you say? You want to do it?
Nah, I said we could do it. But then I also hit him with like a caveat of like, I would need assurances.
Yeah.
It was funny. And he was like, okay.
Yeah.
I should have you know that day I ripped Torchlight out of the new project and built my own code mirror thing because I needed some stuff and like special stuff, as you saw with like my talk, like Torchlight, whatever. And I'm back to like, I'm either writing a blade parser or using Torchlight. Like it's
great.
So
it's
just
not,
so you know,
it's not fun, is it?
It's still very, it's a good thing. It's a good.
There are other reasons for you to write a blade parser, Caleb, but that's neither here nor there.
True, but honestly, blade is your killer feature for Torchlight. It's obscure languages. That's really what's up. Like
Blade, Antlers, Alpine.
Yeah, you can't find Blade
stuff
in Prism, Highlight JS, anything like that. Yep.
Antlers.
Well, you want to hear the technical reason why you can't, because the underlying highlighter Shiki is the only one that uses TextMate grammars, because they're so freaking heavy. So like Highlight JS and Prism and all that, they just use regex. It's just like best guess. But Shiki uses the TextMate grammars, which is what VS Code uses. So you're sitting on top of an entire ecosystem that is dedicated to like keeping this stuff up to date. So that's
what's the
real trick.
advantage of TextMate grammars? What is TextMate?
TextMate is pre-Sublime Text, I want to say.
Okay.
Super old.
Not to be confused with Text Wrangler.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And for some reason, the TextMate grammars have just become the standard for like syntax highlighting, and so VS Code uses them as well. And they are in and of themselves gnarly regexes, but there's a lot more power. They have like snippets and embeddings, and so like if you have PHP that has HTML embedded in it, a TextMate grammar can handle that, whereas a Prism or Highlight has trouble with that.
Gotcha. Yeah. Oh wow, that's interesting. Okay, good to know. Yeah, DHH, when he was switching over to NeoVim or something, he was like, he either uses TextMate still or needed to move over all his TextMate. That was like his thing. It's like, has to be text. And I was like, I thought TextMate was an editor, but now it sounds like a configuration or something. We've cracked the code.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay.
Hey, what's the what's that Rust text editor? Zed.
Yeah.
Is that going to happen?
It's happening.
But is it going to happen?
Oh, no.
You don't think it's going to happen?
I don't know anything about it.
I mean, have you heard of it, Aaron?
I've heard of it, but I don't know anything about it.
It looks sick. And Thorsten Bell. That's
the only reason I've heard of it, is because of him.
He's like the only one like left writing like good long form blog posts that are super deep and interesting on the internet. So
yeah, him and Aaron Francis.
Yeah, that's kind of short.
Oh.
Yeah,
that is short. That's like 2,500 words.
Guy draws 2 concentric circles and thinks he's
got him. Thorsten Ball.
Yeah.
So Zed is like, whatever. It's a Rust editor. I think it's basically people who adore Sublime, but Sublime's old, whatever. It's like, we want something really fast. And VS Code is my experience with VS Code is getting worse because I think some of my extensions have memory leaks. Do you guys ever run across this?
I do think some of your extensions have memory leaks.
Do you use PHP Storm?
I do.
Yeah, okay. Well, that's slow anyway.
Yeah, that's just one big extension with a memory leak. I don't know.
Exactly.
Right. But whatever, I have to restart VS Code like every 3 or 4 days, which is wild. So I could see the mounting demand for Zed personally, but it doesn't have a lot of the things that here's my killer feature that I won't use Zed until it has. Emmet. Do you guys use Emmet?
Who's Emmet?
I don't use Emmet, but it seems like almost everyone does.
So here's the thing about Emmet, Daniel, is I used to think that Emmet was, and I thought this was cool, was just like CSS expansions, like you type like div.bggray and hit tab, and then it creates a div wrapping tags and class bggray, and you can do like attributes and do like ×5 and get 5 of them, and that's Emmet. Aaron, you familiar with Emmet?
No, never heard of this.
It's been
in my
around
life.
forever.
It's really cool.
It's really cool. It's
and
been
when you
around
see
forever.
someone like Caleb who
editors.
uses it well use it, it is like a little magical.
Emmet's great, but here's why Emmet is why I can't live without Emmet right now, and I'm curious what you guys do. Emmet has like extra commands when you're working with HTML, so you can like have a section of code and wrap it in a div, or you can be on a tag, and I have it all mapped to keys, but I hit like MR, and then because that's like Emmet and then R, and then it'll rename that tag in the opening and the close. I can M backspace and it'll remove the opening and the close. I can MO and it'll highlight the outer edge of that div. I can hit MI and it'll highlight the inner div. So these are all things that like at this point I can't edit HTML without. Like I feel like a dummy. What do you guys do for this? Are you like, if you need to rename a div, how are you renaming a div?
I'm text editing. Yeah.
So you're just like finding the closing div.
Well, I mean, like I'm doing my base. Like a lot of times it's like, just Command D to get the next div.
50 divs.
Yeah, right. If it's super nested, then I'm just finding the closing div. Yeah. Usually I'm collapsing first.
Okay.
Right.
To
Collapse,
then find
Command
it
D,
and then change
then,
it. Yeah.
yeah.
So
Dude,
Command D skips collapsing.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
When it's collapsed.
PHP Storm, I have two options. One is go to the opening tag and just rename it, and it automatically renames the closing tag.
Oh,
Like it just
get
keeps
out
them,
of here.
It keeps
That's
them
great.
matched. Isn't that great? The other
Great.
thing that I will sometimes do is inside, like if I'm inside a deeply nested thing, you can hit Option up arrow, and it will do that. Start to highlight group by group by group.
Balance
So
outer situation.
it goes to the next tag out,
Yeah.
and then once I get to the entire spot highlighted, then I just hit up arrow and I'm at the beginning tag. So if I'm
Then you
like
can
deep
rename
in
the
and I
thing.
don't
I
want to reach
gotcha.
for the
Yeah,
mouse,
yeah.
I'll do Option up, release Option, hit up, and then rename the tag.
Cool.
And then it renames the bottom one.
And do those same shortcuts work for like a PHP like function or something?
Mhm. Yeah.
So you
and
can
it's
balance
awesome.
outward like an if statement,
Yep.
the function, and it's all the same keys.
Yep. Exactly.
That's great.
It's good. It's good stuff.
I love it. Yeah, that's something I've tried to like. I want to bring this mapping to other languages as well, and I have like MR and PHP to rename symbol, and in JavaScript and in HTML, but all the other ones are just too different. Like VS Code doesn't have a good like balance inside of PHP.
Have I?
So
I must
Cool
have talked
editor.
on the show at some point about my rename, my great complaints about like smart rename. But like, if you have like I don't know, like I use many different casings, right? So like whatever you got your snake cases for route names and your kebab cases and your camel cases and your title cases. If you have all those things in a file, there should be a way to like Command D, select all of them, and then start typing. And then when you stop typing, analyze the thing you typed, and then like recase it for the appropriate context. You know what I'm saying?
I very much agree.
So if it's like,
crazy.
if it's like my first thing, right? So like in one place it's camel case my first thing, in another place it's my underscore first underscore thing. I want to rename it to my second thing, but in all of the places have it cased in the same way that it was cased
style
where it was.
I have the sidebar layout for the Flux site right now that's just getting massive. So there's all these A tags. And you know how like to detect the current thing, you have like request is. So you have href, request is. Then I have another one that I don't remember what that does. And then the title of the thing. And the title matches the route name. It just has title case, So I'm constantly going like d change. And then depending on if I have like, finding supports different casing, it may have accidentally highlighted the uppercase title, and then I just wipe out the uppercase, or it skips and I have to do it separately. So,
or like
we've talked about
you
this.
Just think about like any like 2-word route, right? Like route resource, like whatever, like slash API slash work sites slash work sites, right?
Yeah.
And so it's like work dash sites, but then the thing that you're passing in will be actually like work site camel case, something like that.
Yeah,
this is good audio content, I gotta admit. Talking about the different casings of variables, people are definitely seeing this in their mind's eye.
This dude, editor talk is literally the most relatable developer talk ever.
Well, and like
I'm so basic though. That's the problem.
Here's the direction AI can go next. This is my whole thing, is that like AI is actually like the only person qualified to rename stuff for me.
True.
Like this, right? Like they there's no regex you can write that makes it possible.
True.
I've thought about it all the way. It's impossible. So AI could do it. And so the thing, and I feel like Cursor might go this way at some point. Like they might actually make the AI text editing experience good enough, right? But I feel like right now AI is really good at like, I completed a line, now do that 10 more times, right? Like I created a route, now make another route.
Exactly.
Right?
Yes.
But what it's not good at is like, I edited one route in a list of 100. Now apply that same edit to all the other lines,
This is my life. Do you use Super Maven? What do you guys use for AI stuff? You use nothing, Aaron?
I use nothing.
What is
nothing?
Super
Okay.
Maven? No.
You use Copilot or anything?
Yeah,
you can use any.
Yeah.
Okay, Copilot.
I pay
Super
Microsoft
Maven's
their big dollars.
Okay, people are loving Super Maven because it's super fast. It's
Maven.
super.
Isn't
Maven.
everyone liking Claude? Isn't Claude the new Claude?
Well, Claude's awesome.
I've chatted with Claude, but in the
I
browser
use Claude
only.
all the time, but it's a browser only situation.
Well, no, I think everyone's using Claude in Cursor now. I think that's the new shiz.
And that's probably what's up. But philosophically, I can't use Cursor yet.
I can't use Cursor yet
because you haven't made it awesome yet.
Fine, but it's like he just wrapped VS Code, so and Microsoft doesn't care. But I don't know if they.
This is a wrap
philosophy thing.
Yeah.
No, I know. We don't have to go down this road. I'm just saying. I'm at least gonna wait out of principle.
Dude, just think about like Caleb Porzio's make Claude awesome, or make what was it called? It wasn't even called
Cursor.
Make Cursor awesome.
Cursor awesome.
Yeah.
And it feels like it would be really heavy. I don't know. Whatever. There's other reasons I'm not using Cursor. Are you using Cursor?
I used it for a sec, but like I didn't see the value. But now people are talking about this Command K feature, and I'm like, oh, maybe this is the move.
And that's what you were describing. Is like you can. I just want to hit a button and then type into a command like rename this to this, even in just plain language.
That's what Command K does.
Okay, and it's like we know the context. We're going to suggest the change.
Yeah, and so then the other thing with Cursor's chat that you can do, which is really cool, is in the chat you can say file : and reference a file in your thing. Okay. So it's like, hey, do this like it's done in this view.
Oh, that's so
and
dope,
so and it can have up to like code base level context. Okay. But you can also specify certain files for it to use as context and stuff.
That's sweet, dude.
It's really cool.
Super Maven is dumb as rocks. It's fast and it's like really, I do like it. Like I got rid of Copilot ages ago, but it's dumb. It like, there's so many times where you're like, you're just copying you're just referencing the other thing on this page and not using your brain at all. It's like, clearly I would not want that. I want to adapt this to, I'm very upset about it.
Yeah, I probably won't use any of the Cursor. I'm not gonna switch editors.
That would be a big shift for you.
That would
but it's just VS Code, right? Like if you're already in VS Code, yeah. Well, and that's your folly. But like, if you're already in VS Code, you can it's sort of like a lateral shuffle.
Yes.
Yeah, but I won't. I'm standing with Caleb on anti-wrappers, so I won't use it.
Yeah. Do you and Bossman Chris ever just like get in a Zoom call and talk about PHP Storm?
No.
You missed out.
Are we the only two people that use it?
You're like, two people I respect.
We're the only two people who use VS Code in the Laravel community. Everybody uses PHP Storm.
I feel like Josh Siri uses it, but he comes from a JavaScript background, so what do you expect,
Yeah.
Right. Well, Jeffrey Wade declared it like
guy.
the editor to use. Like he was like, all right, I'm done. Like it's PHP Storm.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I think Christoph Rumpel has a course maybe on Make PHP Storm Awesome or something.
He does, yeah.
That's a cool name.
It's a cool name.
Yeah, it is. I like that.
This
Rumpel,
is content.
Good name.
I am not upset about it. Content's more the merrier.
Okay. We're understanding more of the nuance of Caleb's inner business.
No wrappers, but renames are
no wrappers.
Renames, fine.
Yeah,
but content is okay. All right, I'm into that.
Well, I guess the argument there is you were never going to learn PHP Storm, so
never.
Yeah.
Honestly, he did message me. He was like, "I want to create a PHP Storm course, pattern, whatever." And I was like, "Great, whatever, it's fine."
Can we talk about Make VS Code Awesome? Is that on the table?
Yeah, sure.
How is that doing?
This is my Torchlight. Yeah.
Do you keep that alive? I feel like I still see people talk about it.
Yeah, I do because it has the patina of a course that has sat for a long time, and
patina,
the trend is bam. It's like we're just skating off rock bottom. There are $0 days in a row, but it still makes like. If I do a Thanksgiving, what do you call that? Black Friday deal situation. If I just go into ConvertKit, look at that list, and just do the bare minimum to it, I can eke out like 20 grand, 15 for sure, from Make VS Code Awesome for the year.
That's a good eke.
Yeah,
that's
so
not bad.
It still is like something.
When you say eke, you gotta bring your eke number down.
Yeah. You're not a man of the people if you're eking out 20 grand.
Yeah, no one ekes out 20 grand. So be careful.
Yeah.
I guess let's say 15 grand.
Not better.
Probably at this point.
We come on here with our backwards hats, Caleb, and we're expecting people to relate to us. We can't just talk about eking out 20 grand.
So, okay. And I think the only reason it ever makes any sales is because I have it in my Twitter bio.
It is true, yeah.
Otherwise, like, it would get zero traffic, except for Josh Seary.
Josh Seary still talks about it. Yeah,
he's the only person who's ever like given it love. But no, I mean, people have given it love. But the thing is, I still think it is such a killer course. That's why I keep it around, because I just want other people to have access to it. Like all that Emmett stuff. Like, there's just so many things that I don't know, that I feel like I went to hell and back on.
And you make screencasts and stuff, and you do conference talks, so like people get to see your pretty cool looking editor setup fairly often. And so being able to just have an answer to their question about like what theme is that, that forces them to give you money is that's great.
This is such a great landing page. I'm just looking at it right now. This is good. Aaron. This holds up. It's got good patina, as I might say.
Good. I mean, I gave that. This is the best example of me not being a designer, just wrestling with something for ages until it looks okay, you know? Just
like looks good.
Nonstop. But it looks pretty crappy on a really wide monitor.
So if you're eking out, if you're scraping by, if you're barely making it,
I'll give you more real numbers. I could look at what we made in a month and like this month, and it's probably like nothing.
Give us this month.
Give me July.
Then give me
analytics.
Like year to date.
Keeping in mind that it was too hot to work in Europe in July.
That's true.
Okay, now this course might be doing all right.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
What the hell? What is this, Josh Seary? This is nuts. Unless I must be missing something. In the past,
like $80,000 in July.
He's eking out $50K. Yeah,
this is crazy. In the past month, it's made $3,500.
What?
Yeah.
Come on.
Hey, come on.
So you're
in
I think this
Sleepy
thing might eke out $50K this year.
That's more than your house payment.
Crap. I almost want to like share my screen on this thing.
Is it a big spike?
Something happened. I'm making money on this thing. I didn't even know it. Okay, look at this. I'm putting a screenshot in our mostly NPTM thing, and you can explain it to the users.
Okay. What happened here?
Dude, I gotta look at this
Is
date
this real?
and see if this is just Josh. I gave him an affiliate code, so I think I could actually see how many people.
Dude, you taught him to
folks,
fish.
for looking at that.
Guys,
dude, this is nuts.
When did that spike start?
The date was the fateful day of Tuesday, July 2nd.
All right, look at your messages with Josh.
What was I doing on July 2nd?
Dude, I bet it's Josh Seary. I bet he's just
Josh.
like... And then the day... So July 3rd was $444 that day.
Yeah, number go up here. This is crazy.
Yeah. So you can see this graph, folks, that's literally just like bottom, 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 bottom. Fruitful, full, fat, little like
sustained,
sustained like
July.
revenue.
That's crazy.
Wow, dude.
Okay. Well... All right. So scope this down to just July, and then give us the number, because all I see is a graph. So what did you make in July off of this course?
Okay, just July. So July. Was $4,500.
Wow.
Dude, you're gonna eke out $60,000 on this course.
You're gonna eke it out, man.
Okay, so I've always felt like this has not. I niched it down to keep it niched because of the reasons to keep it niched.
Self-fulfilling prophecy.
It
niched it down to keep it niched.
To keep it niched, and I think that was the right move. But it has. I've always been like, man, like this could conquer like the internet. It's VS Code. It's like the widest thing. And there are some courses, some good courses, but they're very just like, you know, if somebody was like, all right, I'm going to make the VS Code course. I'm going to hire a marketer. I'm going to research it. I'm going to have everything you would need, where this is just opinions and like zest, you know?
I'm going to start a business that's like a course bundle business, where I bundle up courses like screencasting and VS Code and other things that are like sort of general, wider programming audience approved, and I'll just keep 50%. You guys interested? Just
do it anyway.
Screencasting course, a VS Code course.
This sounds like a rapper to me. So
we'll bundle them up.
Well,
no, it'll be a rename also.
Wow, loophole.
I have decided, just real quick, based on our last one of our conversations, Aaron. If I got money, it's okay. I know you were like, well, what if you get money? Is it fine? If I get money, it's not as good, but like you can rap me if your success pays me
Yeah, great.
I'm good
Love
with
that.
So
Philosophically pure.
Daniel, go for it. Just kick it back,
Kick it up.
So, okay. So Make VS Code Awesome, I thought was dead. It is not dead. In fact,
it's not dead.
Oh, I was supposed to I partnered with somebody for 10% on it.
Yeah.
So every year I cut this guy a check for like $2,000.
Not anymore.
And I really want to stop because I do all the support. He does nothing. I want to buy him out.
That's not how that works. Oh, you could buy him out. Yeah.
But
You
I
should have bought him out last year.
3 months ago. Now I can't, in good conscience, buy him out for $5,000 or something.
Well, you should just buy him out based on a rolling 12-month average right now.
True. Problem is, he's my brother-in-law.
Ooh.
In-law, though. In-law. That's fine.
Yeah.
Yes.
Maybe talk to your relative. See if you can get a divorce going or something.
Just for the paperwork.
Yeah.
Real quick.
Maybe you should talk to your relative, but probably not for divorce. But hey, VS Code still cooking.
VS Code's still cooking. And to answer your question, yeah, I mean, I love it, so I want it to exist. But we could probably do something more with it, especially now. I don't know. Got to do something.
Got to do something.
I should figure out where the traffic is coming from. Is it from Josh?
Sounds like step one.
Did somebody else, like...
You should give Video.gg a referral code.
Okay, referrer. Make VS Code Awesome has all... all right, we'll look at the affiliates. You guys could talk about something else while I look. This is officially no plans to merge. Where like somebody just goes off and looks something up while the other
somebody's doing research while the other person
filibuster.
Vamp.
Perfect.
This is way outside of the very strict topical format of mostly technical.
We're gonna get to your topics, Aaron.
Aaron, I canceled most of my client work for the week. I am gonna have a good week.
That's great.
Leading up to Laracon, so last week was a hell week. I did all of the work plus all of the work plus all of the work.
You hate it when that happens.
On in three different arenas, I did all of the work. And then coming into this week, I was like, oh, but I still have to do all of the work in one of those arenas, and I don't know if there's enough me to go around. And so I talked to a client, and I said, can I do nothing this week and next week, and just talk to you in 2 weeks instead of just doing nothing?
Yes.
They said, no problem.
For all this talk about being in the arena, it sure is nice to get out of the arena, isn't it?
Dude, nothing like showing up to a Monday where you were supposed to be on 6 hours of pairing calls before Laracon and just being like, you know what I got to do today? Record a podcast and work on my slides.
That's
chill.
The ticket. Man, I love canceled plans. Best kind of plans, canceled plans.
Dude, the best canceled plans of mice and men.
When somebody's like, oh, I'm so sorry, we can't do this. I'm like, oh, darn, that's too bad. Because one, you get the credit for not being canceled guy, but two, you get to stay home.
True.
It's the best.
I wonder if this is a trait. I don't think this is shared by everybody. But like, even if it's a good thing, 100% of the time, I will be elated that something is canceled.
Yes. Even if it's a good thing. I am thrilled to death to stay home.
There's a guy who, friend of mine just
everyone's like that.
Friend of mine just started detailing cars, and he asked if he could detail my car, and I was like, sure, yeah. So I'm like paying this guy less than his normal rate to detail my car, and he's canceled it like 3 times. I'm like, I don't care. But I keep getting apologetic text messages. It's like, look, I'm sitting in my house now. I was going to be sitting in my house then. Nothing has changed. I don't really need my car detailed. Like, I don't care.
This is for you, dude.
All right, did you find the numbers, Caleb? What do you got?
I don't know how to use Gumroad. I swear I sent Josh.
We vamped for so long, and you came up with nothing?
Nothing. Yeah. Well, I realized I had to just cut bait. But I feel like I am 73% sure that Josh was tweeting about Make VS Code Awesome and said something about I should get an affiliate link or something. And I was like, dude, made one, sent it to him. But maybe I didn't. So bummer for Josh.
That sucks for Josh. He's really driving traffic.
Josh is in a weird spot because everybody's like oogling over his stuff and is like, how do you do that? And he's like, oh, content creation. Like I should be telling everybody, but like I got it all from this course. So it's this weird thing, but I'd say he's towed the line like really well. Where he like gives some tips and stuff, but then says like, I got it all from this course. Go buy the course, you know?
It is it's a delicate balancing act to be respectful on the internet. You know, we credit where it's due to Matt Stauffer. I feel like that was something that we talked about a lot at Titan was like Give credit where it's due. That was actually a 5 Minute Geek Show episode. Give credit where it's due. And it was like
5 Minute
forgot
Geek
about
Show.
those words.
That
Yeah,
is a throwback.
It was like a perennial topic in the Titan Slack of just like how and when is it appropriate to give credit, right?
Yeah.
And it was almost like a science at Titan of like managing credit, you know.
And I was just like tearing around like a Tasmanian devil, and he's just constantly like, oh, "You just knocked over the vase. You just, you know."
Yeah.
And I'm like, ideas.
But I kind of get it now, where it's like it, because we were both sort of just like running wild. We were young and trying to do a thing, you know. But like I can imagine now if people who work for me were out there just like I don't know, like repurposing Aaron Francis content or something.
Yeah, oh yeah.
I'd be like, yo, you have to stop. Like, you
Dude,
can't just
I'd be
do
the
this.
first to do that. Exactly, right. Very different.
Please don't do that.
Yeah.
Different people.
Jacob, please draw some concentric circles and write a blog post.
Right.
I mean, all you got out of the post was the circles are good.
Well,
I like
they
those
changed
circles.
size too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, for real, I'm like, this is the circles made. I mean, the content's good, but the circles.
The circles really made it.
How did you make the circles?
This is like the thing with
what did you use?
Excalibur? Is that right?
Okay.
It's like the income and expenses thing too, right?
Yeah.
It's like the same problem. Exactly. It's like you can decrease your expenses or you can increase your income, or ideally do both, right?
Correct.
It's like, oh, you can decrease your inputs or increase your outputs. Ideally both.
Ideally do both. Yes. Correct.
And there's,
exactly.
I mean, so is it like my big fascination with the expenses income thing is that there's a hidden asymmetry where if you like, you could make more, but if you spend less, you actually decrease your need for your life. So you need less to retire. Like, so it actually is a double win at least. Is there something with being online or like, I guess, things outside of your control? There's like an asymmetry, you know, if we're mapping it onto income and expenses.
I don't know, because I don't know if I fully follow the first example about expenses being a double win.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if you care for me to you know, like if you want to make $10,000 more, you can get a $10,000 raise, and now you have $10,000 more, or you can spend $10,000 less on like groceries or something, right? And then you get $10,000.
Correct.
But when you've done the less, you now need $10,000 less in perpetuity for your life.
Oh, I see.
Yes. So it actually like pays you in a compounding way when you increase the money you have by spending less.
I think it's a little little fakey, because you're assuming that by needing $10,000 less right now, I'm going to continue not needing that $10,000. But you're not giving me
that's a given, yeah.
But you're not giving me the same thing, which is like, if I get an extra $10,000, I continue to keep having that $10,000 every year forever.
Right. But for most people, if you're just working like a job and you're not like entrepreneurially expanding in life, like it's generally like that $10,000 raise isn't mapped to like.
Yeah, but they're going to take it back next year.
Right. But what I'm saying is, okay, you get the $10,000 raise. In perpetuity, you have like an extra $10,000, but you didn't change how much you spend. Yeah, I'd have to figure out if the math works. You might be right, Daniel. We will see.
I mean, it got you where you are now.
Got me where I am.
So maybe it's a useful fiction.
Yeah.
We do love a useful fiction. Those can be extremely helpful.
Yeah.
A polite fiction goes a long way.
Spend more. Similarly, expose yourself to more things that are outside your control.
Yeah.
No, that doesn't map. I don't like that.
That is it. Yeah.
How are you feeling about that post, Aaron, like philosophically in your life?
Great. Feel great about it. Feel like it was one of my best.
And where did it come from? Where did it come from?
Excalibur. I did.
Okay.
If you go to the site and you toggle dark and light mode, I did every drawing twice, or I
No
exported
way.
every drawing twice.
That's very on brand for you.
There's a dark
great.
and light version.
It's kind of a running bit. See,
it is a running bit.
This is like if you would just spend less. Like now you're doing dark and light mode in perpetuity.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like, if you had just not done it the first time, now you wouldn't have to do it every time.
Steve and I actually talked about, are we doing dark and light mode for every course from now on? I'm like, I guess we are.
Yeah, you're hosed.
Yeah. Too bad.
That is
it
wild.
comes from personal feelings. Like, I feel that in my own life. Like, the more that I pay attention to, the less that I feel good about what I'm doing or what I can do. And also seeing a lot of people on the internet be mad about stuff that they don't ever do anything about. And I'm like, this is just a waste of energy. And it's a waste of, like, you could be changing things within your control, but instead you're worried about stuff that is way outside of your control, and you're using up your finite, limited resources of caring, you know?
Yep. I smell you.
Aaron, one thing that I think this show needs is for you to have a little bit of a poker arc. Because I think you need to have a poker arc because Landsman has so much to give you there.
Yeah.
And I think you need it. But there's this thing in poker that's, you know, like poker's all about just like doing things that have a slight edge many, many times.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like you take a situation where it's like, I have like a 2% edge in this situation. If I do it 100 times, then I should win 2% on my money, you know?
Right. Yep.
And there's like this human frailty, which is that when something like doesn't go according to plan, you tend to think that you may, or when something doesn't pay off, even though you only have a 2% edge, you tend to think that you failed, right?
Correct.
And so it's like this results oriented thinking of like, even if you put in the right work and took the correct actions, that more often than not will result in the good thing. It feels like you're doing bad because I didn't win this time, you know? And I think like that concept of like I'm not in the results business and just like I'm in the action business. I'm in the job of like take the small actions that I can be responsible for. And, you know, these actions are designed to influence the results as much as possible in the ways that I want. And all of the other ingredients in the soup of results are not mine. I just stick my rock in the soup and see what I get, you know? That little bit of philosophy from poker, I think, has like done me so well in the past like year or two of just like, you just do what you can do. You do the thing that is yours to do. And sometimes you get aces versus kings, and that's just fine, you know?
I like that, Daniel.
This is a philosophy I could get behind. I may have to get into poker just for the content, because that I fully agree with that. Yeah. Your job is to put it out there, and if it goes terribly, well, that's too bad. If it goes great,
and then it's
that's
like,
great.
To continue with the poker metaphor, like then to make it up in volume, right?
Yeah, right.
It's like you just
need some signal.
As long as you have an edge, you just have to repeat as often as possible. You have to play as many hands as you can play. If you're confident that you have an edge in this game, like the more hands you can play, the more you can earn, right?
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Do you think I have an edge in this game?
Yes.
Well, the dark mode screencasts is like a good example of like something like that. It's probably hard to measure, so maybe it's not, but it feels to me like not having lenses in your glasses that you used to not have, like the little touches are those are like undeniably edges because people talk about them, they reference them, like it signals that you care about stuff and quality and blah blah blah. Just doing many of those things, to me, that's the little poker edge, is that stuff.
You know what's interesting about both of those examples, the dark mode and the lensless glasses? Well, the lensless glasses was born out of practicality because my old setup, it was just so many reflections. Now it's not as bad, so I don't use them. But both of those things are somewhat useful, but somewhat also just shticks for people to talk about. And it works.
Are you self-aware?
Great. I have become self-aware.
Oh, you're self-aware.
Well, that's part of the Aaron strategy. Remember when this was somebody replied, Mark whoever replied to you about memes and was like, I don't think, whatever, we don't have to say whether or not he's right or not, but the point being that like, like saying, you know, I mean, even today with like the rug pulling is like,
yes,
Aaron does
Mark Jacqueith or something.
Mark Jacqueith, yeah. I mean, there's all of those basically just naming a theme in like a catchy, succinct way and saying it a lot. is like now you have this IP basically of it's IP basically. It's valuable IP. And then
now
everybody
now you're Beetlejuice.
Yeah, and they're like common enough things that's like you can just do things. Somebody reached out to me for early access to Flux. Early access to Flux, just like I was just like, hey, let's just throw out a flyer, whatever. And they were just like, can I get access? Some random person. And I was like, you know what? Hell yeah. And then this was the reply I got, was like, Aaron is right. You can literally just do things.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah. So now Aaron
somehow Aaron has
doing
branded
things.
asking for things.
Aaron is branded asking for things. He's branded do it, like
No, it's like you say try 3 times and Aaron appears.
Yeah, right. Literally, if we're like trying hard at something, that's Aaron's IP.
Oh yeah. Oh, here I am working at 10 o'clock. I better tell Aaron.
Even work hard.
Yeah.
Without it being Aaron's IP.
Yeah, exactly. What the hell, man?
Oh man, that is the perks of giving everything a name and also having just a few bits that you just repeat.
I like an idiot Beetlejuiced myself on event sourcing, like the most complicated, hard to wrap your head around.
Huge mistake, literally.
Yeah, I should have done like trying hard or giving a shit or something,
right, like being good.
Yeah, event sourcing, that's a tough road to hoe. I must admit.
All right, watch this space. In the next, I'm going to do this on stage at Laracon. This is my only opportunity. Okay, on stage at Laracon, I'm going to brand just some really normal life thing. Right. So that I can get tweets. What is it going to be?
What's it going to be?
I look forward to you branding Aaron, basic hygiene.
I'll tell you what it is, right?
Tell
and then
me.
when I come off stage, you need to repeat that life thing and be like, wow, what a really great concept.
Wow. How about give it up for the basic hygiene guy?
Basic,
like,
got a floss.
Is that good? Yeah.
Right. Basic hygiene guy.
This guy's showering every day.
Dude,
come on, let's give it up for him.
It could be your shtick. It's just like, went through pull requests today, like, basic hygiene. It's like now everybody and then I'm sitting there cleaning the dishes and it's like, oh, this is basic hygiene. This is
everything you do is basic hygiene.
Everything you do is basic hygiene.
Right. And that's my IP and you owe me a tweet.
I'm trying hard at basic hygiene.
Yep.
Oh, did you wake up in the morning? Owe me a tweet.
Tweet me.
Basic hygiene.
To be extremely clear, Aaron, in case you're offended by any of this, you've earned, you can just do things like segue. You went to Boise and got interviewed by Nathan Barry on the $1 Billion Creator, and I'm like, he did it again.
I did it again.
Freaking just
I was
did
impressed.
Things or asked stuff or whatever the brand is.
Yeah.
But
I
it's
gotta
like
tighten up the brand
you're
because you
still
can't remember it. But
leveling it up and showing everybody that you can just do things. Everybody's going like, damn, like you can just do things. So
you can just do things.
How did that come about? And did you just do things?
Good segue. I just did a thing. And actually on the plane ride there, I did another thing that's lower stakes but still fun. So I just DM'd Nathan on Twitter. Just said, hey man, I'll probably be the smallest creator that you have on, but here are the numbers. I would love to fly up to Boise and talk. And he said, sure, sounds good. That was it. That was all I did.
Hell yeah.
That's amazing.
It worked.
Yeah,
that's great.
Saying I'd love to fly to Boise, that's big.
Right? That's the move.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just saying like, yeah, I know that you only record in person now. I'm willing to fly up there.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Kill 3 days and come be on your show.
Yep.
And it worked. And we got 2 episodes out of it, actually. So there's going to be forthcoming. There's going to be an interview episode and then like a coaching episode. And it went great.
It's
it was
so
awesome.
smart. Oh, because not only were you, on that pod and all that stuff, but you basically, for the cost of a flight and some steak dinners, got the best business consulting you could basically ever pay anybody to get, and he's not even available for consulting.
Correct.
But you bagged that as well, and it's like,
yep,
dude, this is this is next level strategy. So hats off to you, Aaron Francis.
So I get the consulting. I get the content around going, right? So we get this bump of like, hey, here's a picture of me and Nathan. And then
signaling, just associating. Signaling. It's just like, we're friends. We're friends. I was here. Massive cachet.
And then,
boost.
and then the podcasts are going to come out and it's all going to happen. It's all going to happen all over again. And I'm going to get exposed to his audience, which is slightly different than my own, which is going to be good.
You got to make like a place, like a selfie section on your website. Kind of like the picture of like Drew Barrymore in your sub shop or whatever.
Yeah, right.
You need like here's the people I've taken selfies with section of your website.
That's a good idea.
Because otherwise you're not even cashing on that clout.
I got a picture once with Marcus Lemonis, who is the Prophet on CNBC's show The Prophet.
Sick. I love The Prophet.
Wow. Yeah. Das Prophet.
Yes, yeah. And then one time I got a picture with George W. Bush, who used to be the president of the United States. George W. Bush.
George W. Bush. I thought you said Jeb.
H or no?
No, Jeb. No, not him.
Not low energy Jeb.
No, not low energy Jeb. No, the son, George W.
George W.
You know, I made a website for Jeb.
Jeb exclamation?
Jeb exclamation.
No way.
Yeah. I don't think I made the website. I made a website. Okay. I never spoke to him.
It was more of a fan thing.
It was not a fan thing. It was I worked at a conservative nonprofit agency.
Oh, Daniel's head of the fan club. Oh, yeah, I mean, I made a website for Jeb. Well,
yeah. Oh man.
Yeah.
All right. So the other thing, that I just did on the plane ride there. This is a microcosm of you can just do things. Which, by the way, I need to make a list of. I need to write an article with some circles so that Daniel will read it. But I need to write a
right next to hammers or something. What's your other ongoing list?
Oh man, a list of things that work when they're broken. Great list. Go check that out.
Yeah, like the drop down on your website, which works even though it's broken.
Okay, inappropriate. So on the flight there, I'm on. I have an empty seat between me and then this other guy sitting next to the window. I'm on the aisle. Yeah, we're not talking. We're just we're just being best buds, but we're not talking.
Just holding hands.
Yeah, we're just hanging out.
So I scooted over right into that seat.
So nobody's sitting here. Do you mind if I move over?
Do you mind?
So then the drink cart comes along, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna get a drink. And so the guy says, what do you want? And I say, what did I order? I think I ordered a gin and tonic, and the guy next to me ordered something like a tequila seltzer or something.
Yeah, sunrise.
And the guy, the flight attendant said, "Are y'all together?" And I said, "No." And then I looked at the guy and said, "Unless, are you paying?"
And he leaned in.
Yeah, and then I kissed him on the cheek. No, I looked at him. I said, "Unless, are you paying?" And he looked at me and he goes, I'll pay for you. And I said, no, absolutely not.
Yeah.
Just doing a bit. Looked at the flight attendant, said, I'm paying for myself. He's being very kind. I'm paying for myself. The flight attendant gets us both of our drinks and then says, well, this guy, John, his name is John. John's in the military, so his is free. And since he's paying for you, yours is free as well.
Now that's a move.
Very nice.
That's a move, right?
Yes.
That's a move. This story could have gone in 5 other directions that would have been extremely cringy.
It would have been, but it was great.
That's a great outcome.
I got to do a little folksy bit. I got to make friends with the guy next to me. And then I also didn't have to pay for my drink. It's a win-win-win.
Yeah.
It's a win.
You can just do things while you're on the plane.
I don't think that fits into you can just do things. There needs to be a new brand for that. It's not a perfect you can just do things.
Yeah.
But it kind of is. There's a whole line of my life where just like being folksy pays off. So we got to think of a phrase for that.
Yes.
You can shucks your way to success.
Just shucks.
It's a little wordy, but
I know it is. Yeah,
it's
a mouthful.
Yeah.
Toothsome.
We'll figure it out.
Think on it. You
can just get things for free.
You can. You really, really can. As long as you're folksy, you can kind of get away with a lot of stuff.
Or as long as the person you're asking is too polite to say no.
Yeah, maybe.
True.
But if you're folksy,
you
it
can
doesn't
just pressure people
rude.
into giving you things for free.
You can bully people. That's
especially if they have to sit next to you on an airplane.
I
for a
thought
while.
literally if you just became a guy who said, this one's on you, right? Enough time, like just that you just said that all the time, like you'd make a bunch of money.
If you restrict people's ability to go to the bathroom, you can get them to buy you a drink for free.
This one's on you. That's a great.
This one's on you.
One.
Oh, that is.
Yeah, just say it with a smile on your face.
Branding.
I'm gonna tell a story that I hesitate to tell, but I want to know for real because like a friend of mine who's a friend in every other way. We were at a beer store thing getting like there's a taco truck. We get the tacos. The friend goes, I'm about to like walk in I think I'm about to walk in to get a beer. He just came. He's like, hey, get me whatever you're having or something like that. You know, or I said, like, what do you want? He's like, whatever you're having, you know. But he did prompt for me to buy him the beer, right? No problem. I'm happy to buy a beer for a friend. I'm going to get a beer. Of course I'm going to get 2 beers. It's standard.
This guy's over 21, right? He's not running.
This guy's like 55.
Okay, cool. All right.
I bring him the beer. We drink our beers. It's happy days. A week or 2 later, we're at a different brewery outside with families, our families as well. He's on the other side of the table, and I'm about to get up, or I wasn't even getting up. I had already gotten a beer, and he goes like, "Hey, you get me a beer?" You know, and I was like, "Oh, I'm sorry." He says, "I'm sorry. Oh no, this is the worst story ever." Okay, this is it. This is really important. You could just do that. No, he says, "Hey, can you grab me a beer? I'm trapped here behind the table." So I say like, yeah. And I figured he's implying that he'll get me a beer as well, because I was going up to get a beer. So he's like, hey, can you get, I don't know. I thought I was like reading the situation. I was like, yeah. And like, should I get one too? Or I was like an awkward way to ask. And so he was like, yes, but it became like really weird to the point where I couldn't tell if I was supposed to buy a beer for myself on his tab or not, or if this was supposed to go on my tab. And he literally was like, if you really want one, that's what he said. And I was like, this is so out of character. He's like, if you really want one. And I was like, oh yeah. I mean, it was just awkward and everybody's staring. And then I said, I bought you a beer like 2 weeks ago. And he's like, I know you did. And I just got up and like bought him the beer, So weird.
This is so uncomfortable.
It was the most uncomfortable thing ever. And now I'm wondering,
that's brutal.
This guy's already pretty cheap, but he is like half retired and like on the FI train.
He's on a fixed income.
Exactly. And I think he referenced something like that. And I was like, wait a second. And now I'm like, should I care about this interaction? Is this like a problem? Or I don't know. It could just be a weird thing, but it was
incredibly
weird.
Uncomfortable.
And now I'm like, he's a guy that like we've shared each other's hearts. Like I almost want to be like, yo, dude, is something going on? Like, I don't know.
He may be in a tough season.
Yeah,
right.
He's having a difficult season. Yeah,
a season. He's going through a season.
I don't know.
He's in the desert.
So, people might ask you to buy so I'm the other guy on the plane. Aaron.
Yeah. This is very uncomfortable for me. The fact, I kind of think the fact that you asked him, should I buy one too on your tab?
That is
also
weird. That's a weird thing to say.
No,
sure.
I know. It's like, I can't express to you the exact words where you would be like, okay, that was kind of normal. But it was in such a way, what it was me like, I'm 90% sure that he'll be like weirded out if I don't get myself a beer.
But he's on a fixed income, yeah.
Like I have to make sure. But
who would just hand someone, because like it is weird to say like, here's my card, go get me something and bring it back.
Yes, and not yourself one. And especially given that
I don't know. He's using the trappedness as the reason to only get him a beer. He's saying, I'm not buying this round. I am merely trapped. And so I need you to be my hands and feet. It was then that you carried me.
Yes. And so I get the card, and I figured the only way he told me that is because like if I was in his shoes, I'd be like, oh, I'm kind of trapped. I kind of want a beer. I'll go ahead and get me one and get himself one. He just got me a beer. This is like, otherwise I would feel uncomfortable about asking. I'd be like, oh, if I don't want him to charge me for a beer, I'm just gonna wait or something. It wasn't even that trapped. I don't know.
Impossible to make a ruling. I will say my favorite part of the story is when you said, I can't tell you the exact words, but it was really normal. Like, I know that I'm sounding like the bad guy, but it's just because I can't remember the right words. But
I said it in a way that was really normal. It was really cool and normal.
Yeah, that's totally normal.
Oh.
That's how I'm going to tell stories from now on. If I sound like the bad guy, it's just because I can't remember exactly what I said.
Exactly how I said it in such a cool and normal way. Yeah. I clocked that as well.
I've done this before where like I have to be like, you've had enough interactions with me to know I'm not a douchebag, right? Like, please, can you just give me the benefit of the doubt on this one?
Just give me credit for being normal here.
Can you just please?
Did I miss the end? What actually happened? What did you do?
I bought either us each
I
beer
bought him a car.
separately,
He
or
doesn't even remember.
No. I bought myself the beer.
You bought yourself.
I bought the beer on his tab.
You bought him a beer on his own tab.
No, he bought you a beer.
He paid
on his
for my
tab.
beer too.
And
it was
you
like,
bought yourself a beer on
yes,
his tab.
It was a confrontation, a little bit. But
I
I'm
would have
telling
bought
you,
a
this
six
guy,
pack to take home.
this guy, like, is so close. And I know I should have bought a 6-pack to take.
He was so close, yeah.
I don't know that he was so close, but I was like, okay.
Guess we'll never talk
He's
to
like,
him
if you really
again.
want a beer, I'm like, all right, I'll buy myself a beer, you weirdo. Anyway.
This guy's on a fixed income and you're eking out 60 grand
No,
on
no,
book you
this
forgot
guy,
about. So
we don't have to get into this guy's story. You're not going to take my word for it anyway.
Yeah. Is this the guy from Panera?
Didn't I start this story by saying I should not start this story?
No, you said you were hesitant to tell it.
Yeah, same thing.
Yeah.
No, it's different. Yeah.
It's different.
It's
I was
just a question of
hesitant
whose
because-
expense it's at. And in this case, it is at yours.
And I own
Unfortunately,
that.
you were hoisted by your own petard on this one.
I should have just said, hey, can you buy me a beer? Or this one's on him. And then the waitress would have been like, it's on me.
She would have done the side eye verify. She would have looked over at the guy, and the guy would have been like, "Ah, shucks," and then you would have been in the
Side-eye
clear.
verify.
That's what it's
brand
called.
that.
That's good, right? The side eye verify.
Side eye verify.
I could do this
TM.
all day. It's
Hey,
right
you
off
do this
the
all
top.
day, dude.
Yeah. You know, two other things I just asked for. One, a long time ago, I DM'd Wes Boss and was like, "Hey, man, I'll pay you for an hour of your consulting time to look at my videos and tell me what to do better." And he was like, "Sure, let's do it."
Wow.
And so I did. Got on a call with Wes Boss. It was expensive. I think I paid him like $300, but it was totally worth it because we spent an hour on the phone, just me and him, looking at my videos.
For that kind of
For that
situation.
kind of consulting, it was great.
That's great.
The other time was I asked Caleb for a thing.
Yeah.
Back in the day, I said, "Hey, Caleb, you were on GitHub README, the blog. Can you introduce me to the person that
True.
you talked to?" And he did, and that was the beginning.
There
That
you
was where it
go.
all started.
You can just do things. There.
just do
Okay, let me
things.
brand something.
Okay.
You can just be like super cool to random people and never tell anybody, and that's what's up.
Yeah.
It's just like do the coolest things for random nobodies and don't signal publicly at all about it, even if it never comes back to you and they randomly get super famous and popular like Aaron Francis. Yeah, that's gonna be
That's the move.
I knew a guy who was I don't know, he was a little, no offense, Caleb, he was sort of an Italian American. He told me one time,
okay.
as long as you owe me money, I'll never go broke. And
As long as you owe me money,
As long as you owe me money, I'll never go broke.
It was interesting. It was in the context of like
Do I get that?
I owed him money for a service, right? Like he provided a service, and I was like, "Oh, let me pay you for the," and he was like, "Oh, don't worry about it. As long as you owe me money, I'll never go broke." And it was a very like mafioso
cool.
energy the way he said it.
Right.
It's like I got money on the
so
streets.
I love the accent. I don't know if I fully understand the saying. As long as you owe me money,
The idea
I'll
is
never
basically
go
you just want
broke.
to have everyone
Yeah,
always owing you something,
Favors
so that you
and
walk
stuff like
around
that.
just kind of like passively collecting, right?
Oh,
Which
The
is
problem
sort
with
of
this
like
is this could
mafia
be a
energy.
very good bit, like if healthily done. But like you guys probably know them too. But as an Italian person, I have plenty of like Italians that I could literally name for you. Like there's this one dude, friend of the family, who's the favorite
Joey.
guy.
Yeah.
His name's Russ, and he's the favor guy. It's just like he will hook you up so that you're always like indebted to him and whatever. He's the guy who will ask you for something when you know him. He will hook, and the thing is, he forwards it around. He goes, "Oh yeah, I'll hook this guy up with this guy as the favor for this guy. Now this guy owes me." Because this guy owed me because I did that for him with someone else, and he's passing all these favors around, and it's this tangled web, and it's like
What a tangled web we weave.
It's a tangled web, but so it's a good bit, Daniel.
It's a good bit.
As
I
long
like
as you owe
that.
me money, I'll never go broke.
As long as you owe me money, I'll never go broke.
And the accent is honestly, it's pretty good.
Anytime
For a
I
Japanese man,
anytime I hear
it
when
is.
someone like spout off some sort of like mafioso wisdom like that, I immediately want to say it.
yeah,
That could be your thing. However, in your line of business, if everyone owes you money, you will go broke.
I
That
will
is
go
the
broke. That's
problem.
correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is correct.
True.
Yeah.
You're kind of in the business of getting paid for the
Yeah.
services, not having favors.
Uh-huh.
So just something to think about.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. You believe.
Do we want to do another topic?
One
What
more.
you got?
All right.
Two
Here's
more.
what I still got. Arlinda started
Arlinda.
the Kit Studios.
Kit
Steve was in the
Studios.
hospital. We already kind of did Laracon. We're not going to do Laracon.
Let's do a little bit of Laracon.
I think we haven't done all the Laracon.
Yeah,
Okay.
we
Wow,
should
that was
talk about
really-
Laracon.
That went over well.
Yeah.
I'm sorry,
You lie.
Aaron.
Yeah.
We're too Aaron focused. We have
Yeah.
to, you know.
We have to talk
I'm
about the thing we're
I'm,
all
the,
doing.
I'm,
We
I'm
have
putting
to-
the team on my back in terms of topics here. You guys gave me no topics. It's just,
I'm
it's
prepared
just
to
footloose
talk
and
about event
fancy
sourcing
free.
at any moment.
Oh goodness.
I do actually have a sheet of paper, and on it, it does say event sourcing, but not boring.
And therein lies the rub with the brand event sourcing.
As long as
That's
you don't
the
be
issue. We can't ever say the word event sourcing.
Yep.
But here's something I'm feeling about Laracon
Tell me.
is that there are more people here
Yeah.
to meet,
Okay.
like by a long shot, than ever before.
Mm.
It just feels like there's so many new faces and so many people that it's like, wow, like, yeah, of course I want to see this person and chat with them. But if I do that for every person that is on that roster, it's like, this is going to be nuts. I don't know if my brain will be able to handle this socially. Like, I feel like it will short circuit and be absolutely zapped.
You know what I'm doing? I'm playing poker the 2 nights after Laracon. And I'm just going to tell people, oh yeah, I'm going to be at TCH playing poker. So if you want to come through, like, I don't know if you play poker, but like come
Cool.
through and like we can kick it and talk. And then it's like, it gives me like a thing because I can't possibly talk to everyone, but I can like give you a place where like, if you're in town, like come through, we can kick it and like be friends and play poker, whatever.
What is TCH?
Texas Card House, baby. It's a famous establishment. I'm excited.
Card House.
That's sweet. That's a good move. Yeah. And then that's,
Oh
the
yeah, I know.
2
where
days
this is.
after, kind of like thin it out, relax a little bit, just chill.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It's
So
good.
it's like anyone who's like left in town can like.
Do you guys have
hang
that
out.
feeling at all that there's like more energy and people that are all like in this slurry of people that, you know, should like that know each other online now, but not in person as much like than
It's
ever
bigger,
before?
Yeah. It's
It's
bigger.
I do feel like this Laracon is bringing more folks from outside the traditional Laravel circles.
Yeah.
So there's a whole group of people inside the Laravel circle that I've never met in person, and I'm looking forward to meeting. Josh Siri, who we've mentioned on the show, included. He's the guy that likes VS Code. And then, you know, a bunch of those people, but then there's also a bunch of people outside the circle. Like all the Terminal Coffee Shop boys are coming.
Drinking some right now.
I think Justin Jackson is coming. John O'Nolan, the ghost guy.
Oh yeah,
like,
cool.
A lot of people that I'm internet friends with that I've never met.
I love
And
Justin Jackson.
I think
I'm
it's
so
gonna,
happy.
it's gonna be a lot. It's gonna
It
be
is
so
gonna be
fun, but
wild.
it's gonna be a lot.
What's the dynamic going to be like with these non-Laravel folks? Like John
gonna bully
O'Nolan
them.
is he done Laravel? He's done like Livewire stuff. So like he also is into the tech as well as being, you know, him and Node and Ghost and whatever.
Yeah, he's done some Laravel stuff for sure.
But some of the like non-Laravel folks, like it's just going to be, it's like when one friend from some other friend group is like with it and you're like, how does this work? You know?
You got to come up with random stuff that they have in common. You're like, did you guys both have breakfast this morning? Talk about that for a little bit. That's crazy.
Yep.
Basic hygiene.
Build your hygiene. Basic
hygiene.
Yeah. Basic hygiene.
By the way, I hate being the bridge guy in a social setting.
Oh yeah.
Where there's two groups of friends and
stressful.
I am the Venn overlap. I hate that.
Mm-hmm.
Do
you have the personality that like I will make myself that out of my nature and I hate it?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like
yep. 100%.
There's people who just have that chutzpah to just be like, whatever. Not my deal. Like
nope, totally my deal.
My brain
and if
is just like I am responsible for everybody's comfort. You know.
Yes. If I see somebody on the margins, I'm like, that's my responsibility to make sure they get brought in. Yeah, for sure.
So I don't do it at scale. I like pick a person on the margins and make them my project for the conference.
Yeah.
But I'm certainly not going to do it for more than like 3 people.
You're the guy. Daniel's the guy. Be like, whatever. Like it's not my like. You don't feel that. But you are also the guy that. Yeah, you're not like the coordinator of the social experience.
Hell
so
no.
you know.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah.
Yes, it's going to be a lot of people
to
to meet. It's going to be a lot of fun, but it is going to be mentally very taxing.
It's going to be
when are y'all getting here?
I think I'm going to fly Saturday night.
I don't know the days,
I want to have
but
Sunday alone in the hotel to just
that's awesome.
Do
Hotels,
my own thing, practice
yourself.
the talk.
Wow.
Don't talk to anybody.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Don't have any client work. You know, because like I could fly Sunday and just spend that time here practicing. But
is Sunday? What day is the first day of the conference? Isn't it Tuesday?
Tuesday. But then we have a Monday daytime activity.
We have a football, basketball.
We have a football, baseball service.
I have no idea. I have tiny babies, and I'm flying in the last minute, and I'm flying out at the very minute that I'm like that morning, like right after the conference, which kind of sucks. But
lame.
Yeah, it's like I got to be in, out, back.
Dude, what's the point
squeezing
of
babies?
What's the point of living in Buffalo to be close to your family if you can't spend a week at a conference?
That's
gambling and drinking.
True.
You know?
Networking.
Sorry.
The problem is that my wife's parents run a summer camp all summer. So there's zero from that side. But also the problem is that when they're really little, you can't just be like, here you go, you know? We got a 4-week-old baby.
We need like a Winter Olympics version of Laracon.
Yeah.
And by that, do you mean a Laracon in the winter?
Yeah, downhill.
Yeah.
Downhill. Yeah. Yeah. That would be. You mean like in a winter venue?
Yeah, in a winter
like
venue
Chicago or something.
with
Just
like
pick like the most
skiing.
brutal. Like...
Yeah, something absolutely brutal from Texas in August to Chicago in January. Yeah. Perfect,
dude. That's what we should do. Yes.
But
I'm excited. But I'm just not going to speak at Laracons anymore, and then I'm going to love Laracons, and then we can do a winter Laracon, and it'll just be hanging out session.
Is this your last rodeo?
I feel like this may be my last rodeo.
Dude, just put a moratorium on launching things, dude.
Yeah,
I'll do online events. If we can do a Laracon online, I'll do that all day.
Just give a talk.
I just want to go to Laracon and hang out with
your
people.
Stuff.
Talking ruins it, even if I didn't care about
it. Does.
For me, I have to outdo whatever I did last time. So it will be, I know, but it's like at that, I just can't. I'm telling you, Daniel, that I will tell myself I can until 2 months before. And then I will ruin all of that and go back on my word. And my family will hate me. And I will be the worst, everything to everyone. And I will also hate it. So anyway, I think I'm just going to stop doing talks at Laracon and just go to them and hang out. What do you think?
I think that's a great idea.
Sounds a panel.
Way
I'll go on stage
pressure.
And talk on a panel.
Oh yeah, like Wathen, dude.
Please.
Love a panel because then this is the secret of being the MC. You don't have to prepare a talk.
Yeah.
You still get invited to all the speaker stuff.
Right.
So you get to like hang out the night before with all the speakers and hang out backstage.
Pump the brand.
Exactly. And then you don't actually have to prepare a talk. You just get up there and you be folksy and you do, you point at some people and then you're like, all right, here we go.
Basic hygiene.
Yep. Something that has changed about me that I wonder if I think it's because of being profitable, basic hygiene, is that like I don't care about being recognized anymore. So now a lot of that upside is gone, and now it's just downside to me. It's like, I would rather just, be hanging out on a couch, that kind of thing. Where like before it'd be like, oh, I want to go meet all these people and blah blah blah. And now it's like I would rather just not do any of that. And because of the incentive is gone. It's like, I don't know.
Are we going to see Jack Harlow this year?
That would be great. Coming? We should check who's going to be in Dallas.
Yeah.
Who's Jack Harlow?
He came last year.
He's a rapper.
Oh, yeah, I don't know him.
He's a white rapper though, so you might know him. Yeah.
Is it Eminem?
No.
Because that's all I got. That's maybe the only rapper I know. Definitely the only white rapper I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm the wrong guy for the hip hop talk.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Well,
Caleb,
shall we?
You're not excited. You're not excited about giving your talk. Well, you are.
Yeah, I am, and I'll be
not.
Really jazzed on stage.
You'll put on a good show.
And I'll put on a good show, and I'm excited to put on the good show. It's just mixed in with all the stress and dread,
Okay.
That is always there, but
I dig.
It's just yeah. So no, if I was giving a talk to like 50 people, who just didn't care that much, I would love that experience, because I do love, like, you know, having everybody's attention and like performing something and delivering something.
Love putting on a show.
I love putting on a show, exactly. But
Agreed.
But yeah, so a lot of the benefits are not there to justify the taxing work involved. And yeah, and it's like, well, if you're already going to make money anyway and build something that you like, that people already like, then that's what I'm in it for ultimately. So yeah. So I do kind of hope this is my last Laracon talk.
Okay, wow. Don't miss this one, because this is the last shot y'all will have to see him live and in person.
I'll do an online talk, whatever. I don't know, but
one of my things,
really building up the hype for Laracon. Okay, Daniel, over to you. How excited are you?
Well, I think I have a new philosophy. It's not a philosophy. It's like it's an observation of my own toxic tendencies. It's not I don't endorse it, but it is what I do, and it does work. Okay. And it is called "Too Stressed to Be Scared." And that is a maneuver that I notice that I do all the time, which is just like, oh, big scary thing coming up. Just make yourself so busy that you literally can't even think straight. And then it'll just happen before you know it, and you won't have had time to obsess about it.
Yeah, distraction is great. The only problem with that is it will smack you the morning of.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's better than having it smack you every day for the.
But then you can flip to too blessed to be stressed. When that hits,
too stressed to be scared, then too blessed to be stressed.
Too stressed to be scared, and then when it's too much, you can say, I'm just too blessed to be stressed, and then boom, you're back.
Yeah. One solution that always works for me or helps is like, whenever I get in my head, you just got to go back to working on your talk and doing something that you think is really awesome. Right. And then it just fill you with like excitement. Because when I'm working on my talk and I'm in the zone, I'm actually very excited. I'm like, I can't wait to deliver this and show people this stuff I'm really excited about. But then as I get maybe farther away from the talk, or if I'm doing other things, then it just becomes like a not good thing, you know?
Yeah. How many times y'all practice your talks before you give them?
Historically, like a zillion times. But this year, less. I've only done it for you guys and then one other group, so 2 times.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Historically,
I get it solo.
No.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Historically, I get the beats, and then I spend the day before finding all the jokes.
Yeah, that's crazy. And Adam's the same way with like just kind of the amount of prep is like so minimal that it is always mind blowing, you know, and like. Wow. And so it probably is just a very good experience. But yeah,
this is going to be my most prepped one.
I imagine you're like me. I practiced the shit out of it. Like,
yes. I practiced dozens of times.
Oh yeah.
All the way through. Full hair and makeup, which means put on, like, stand up, put a keynote on the screen and use the clicker.
Yep.
Like,
me too.
Fully. Yeah.
Yep. And you hit that timer and you go, oh, I'm doing this again, and it's going to take an hour, you know, or whatever.
That
is
like, the worst part.
That
you
is
hit
the worst
start button
part.
on the iPhone, and you're like, this is going to count up to 45 minutes.
Right.
And I'm going to be here in the hotel like an idiot.
This is unbearable.
Practicing.
That is the worst part.
That is the worst part.
It's so
agreed.
So bad. But yeah, I don't know. Anyway, talking.
I'm excited. Honestly, I can't wait for Sunday in the hotel to just do the talk to myself a million times. Like that's that like my like feeling. Zen before the conference is like just lock myself in a room, put it on the TV in the hotel, and then just like give the talk to myself in the hotel. Like that's
Papa
my like
Zen,
that's my Marshall Mathers, you know.
Yes.
Are you familiar with that guy?
I am. Yeah, he's the other white rapper that I know.
Yeah, he's the other one. Yeah, Bad Meets Evil.
Okay. Well, anything else on Laracon? That's the only topic. I have these great other topics,
authorized
but we'll wrap there. We could do a well gang and wrap it up.
Well gang.
Well,
gang.
Did we cue it?
Yeah, we don't do that here. But anything else? Anything else for the people need to know? Basic hygiene is Daniel's.
Linda got hired.
Is mine. TM.
Linda got hired. Linda's name is Kelsey.
Yeah.
Our Linda.
Yeah.
You're Linda.
You're Linda.
Steve is alive. He was in the hospital for a week, but he's alive.
I'm happy for him.
Yeah,
I've never met him.
Me neither.
How is he? What's he like?
He's good. Alive. Tall.
What's his vibe? Is he coming to Laracon?
Yeah, he's coming to Laracon.
Oh, cool.
All right, cool.
Super chill vibes.
All right, he'll be all healed up.
Yeah, he'll be all healed up.
All right.
Yeah.
So a mountain biking accident?
Mountain biking accident, arm got infected.
That's cool.
Had to get surgery to clean out his joint, which is just horrifying.
Yeah.
I'm not going to bore you guys with an infection story.
Are
you hesitant
truly
to tell it?
Do not want to hear an infection story.
And that's why. Yeah.
More than anything, I do not want to hear an infection story. Yeah, big time.
I can see
you seem like a squeam.
Yeah.
I have 4 children. I've changed 1 million diapers, and I've changed 2 diapers ever without wearing surgical gloves. So I'm a little bit
true.
squeamish.
That is a bit of yours, yeah.
I fly loose with the diapers for sure.
No, sir. No can
I've
do,
had
bud.
Some moments, yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Nope. I don't want to hear about it. I didn't listen to your entire episode about she found a booger in my hair because I couldn't get through it.
Don't listen to it. It's basically the grossest thing I've ever recorded.
Yeah. I mean, you started talking about snot rockets, and I was like, I understand, but I can't listen to this.
Right.
I like the idea.
Daniel, I don't know if did you listen to that, Daniel?
No. I just like the idea of like Aaron with like maybe carrying 2 babies and like strollering 2 more through like a mall in Dallas, retching with AirPods in.
Yeah. Truly. I have the shortest gag reflex ever. I will absolutely be able to listen to something gross and start gagging as if I'm about to throw up. Exactly.
Oh, that's crazy.
100%.
Yeah.
Yep. Retching is hilarious to me. I don't know why.
No, I think me and Daniel are just like degenerates. Like
I don't know. There's an outside possibility that I'm a soft boy. That is just minuscule possibility.
Is it? So my wife can't handle blood at all. Like she faints. Or talking about any of this stuff. What's that, Daniel?
Not talking about it. But one time we were watching a show on TV and she just
really.
What? Yeah, I don't really have a blood queasiness issue.
Oh, that's good.
I don't prefer. I get my blood drawn, many times a year because of type 1 diabetes, which is too bad. You can't laugh. This is a disease. I didn't have any control over this.
To the very episode.
It's very inappropriate. And I never watch them draw my blood. I can't watch that. It's horrifying. But I won't pass out if I see it.
Right. Okay. Yeah, so you're more of like you're squeamish. You're like gross squeamish. Like
I'm gross squeamish. Yeah,
you're like. Have you ever seen Osmosis Jones?
No. Is that a rapper?
You probably hate it. It's a rapper. It's a white rapper.
Okay, yeah, I don't know.
No, Osmosis Jones. You've never seen that movie, Daniel?
Mm-mm.
Really? This was like an animated movie around our time. So when we were like kids, this would have been a movie that. What's
this
his
like
name?
Magic School Bus adjacent? Is this educational?
No, it's Bill Murray's in it, and he plays a gross guy. And then it's like a whole thing about like cartoons being in his bloodstream and whatever, and experiencing the internals of him being a gross guy. But he does that act like really well, and you're really just grossed out the whole time. You're like, that guy's freaking gross. So Aaron would hate it.
That's exactly a no for me.
Not Aaron. So you never. Yeah, that's something. The gloves are smart because sometimes you might poke through or something. You don't know. You don't know what's going on.
You do not want to poke through. I don't know what that means, but you do not want that to happen.
Do you guys ever watch I Think You Should Leave?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Is that not the funniest freaking show that like
the funniest it's hit or miss. It is the funniest show in the world, or it's like, this is so stupid.
So stupid.
And I hit next and go to the next one. But yes.
Like I think my dad would be like
funniest show in the world.
But is it right? Whatever. There's a whole bit about like stupidest thing ever, but the dude who gives somebody a gift, and it's basically he accuses the guy at a birthday party whose birthday it is of having like wiped with too small a toilet paper thing, and now he's touching, and now his stomach hurts because he's contaminated. Did you guys see? Okay, if you didn't see it, I'm not going to make your podcast the most gross podcast the way I made mine, but it's extremely hilarious.
We're gonna need a lot of help from producer Dave.
Aaron, we're here to
clean it up and
you
keep it on brand.
Exactly. We're like,
get on our level.
We're like,
Aaron.
take that tie and just
roll up your sleeves.
Yeah.
Aaron, do you have any tattoos?
No.
We're gonna get you.
Are you ever gonna get one?
I thought about getting a half sleeve or like a 3/4 sleeve.
But that's such a dramatic departure from no tattoos. Why would you do that?
I know. I just realized
one on my on my like cheekbone.
Yeah, well, I was thinking about putting a devil eye in the middle of my forehead. I don't know.
No, I wouldn't do anything crazy, but I just, sleeves are cool, and 3/4 sleeves are 100% as cool as a full length sleeve. So it's like you get a little bonus there. But I realized,
75.
no, they're 100% as cool. But I realized like, I don't think I'm a sleeve guy, but you know who else wasn't a sleeve guy? Every guy before they got a sleeve, and then you're a sleeve guy.
That's the
like
that's
that
the
would
thing.
be kind of cool,
right? Like I felt that way too. It's like I haven't suffered enough, or like I'm not hardcore enough,
right?
Like
exactly.
I just can't go doing that. But I think there's guys softer than me who have sleeves.
Do you
Yeah,
have any
for
tattoos,
sure.
Caleb?
No, 0.
0.
Yeah.
I would
got a
have thought you
birthmark,
would have
but-
some from your days as a piece of shit.
I know, and I've thought so many times that I should get one, and I feel like I do kind of deserve one a little bit for being such a piece of shit for so long. But
Gosh. All right, Laracon, 3/4
but Daniel
sleeves,
has
you
like
and me
actual
both.
legit. So Daniel's tattoos. Tattoo
They're the
sleeve,
worst.
that's old. That's like, you're not hardcore if you do that anymore, right? Because me and Aaron are going to get
really?
sleeves. We're not hardcore.
They have the
But
numbing
Daniel
cream
has
now.
like my cousin John, like, you got like the toothbrush or something and did like a
Mhm.
prison
Oh, you've got
tat
prison
yourself.
tats.
I got stick and
He does
pokes.
his own
I got all kinds of
tattoos,
stuff.
so-
Yeah, they're all bad too. I don't have any good tattoos.
Daniel's hardcore. He's got the
That
tattoos
sounds
that,
pretty hardcore.
that you see and you're like, okay, dude,
That guy's seen
You're like,
some stuff.
yeah,
Yeah.
like, this guy,
I have an F13 key on my hand.
that's a pretty
Is
new
that
one.
real?
You got that
Yeah.
since I've known you.
That's a real tattoo?
Yeah, dude.
No way.
Yeah.
That's pretty
Content.
hardcore. That's good content. Look at that.
Show the new
Huh.
one.
I'm wearing a hoodie. I
It's
can't.
on his ass. Sorry, I just put him in a weird spot.
Well, gang.
Is this a little blue for you, Aaron? Is this a little blue for your normal, mostly technical content?
I think
I
we're
don't know
making
what that
it worse
means,
as
but
we
yes.
go. Like now,
Yeah. We've done another one.
Yeah. Any
a
like
dad
real
wrap-up.
wholesome content anyone wanted to cover? Anything really just unobjectionable anyone had?
No.
Folksy?
The well has run dry. I think we're done here,
Caleb, it's great to hear that you want to event source.
but not boring.
right?
Not
Similar
boring.
to the last episode, let's talk about event sourcing for the
Yeah,
last
let's talk
30
about event
seconds of this
sourcing.
episode.
Okay, so you want an event source.
Yeah, I do want to event source, and currently I'm writing code that I know I will hate, and I think event sourcing will save me. But I also think event sourcing is so complicated and
Agreed.
is
What's
like
the thing that's complicated? Give me give me
the
3
fire
minutes.
in his eyes. Did you
I'm
see
just
that?
gonna blast him. I'm gonna
His
blast him.
brows got
Go
furrowed
quick,
and his
go
eyes
quick.
got big.
Okay, you thought you simplified. You did simplify things. This is not an insult. With making like states and events separate, like still too complicated. It's like, what's a state? Now it's optional. Okay, this is weird. It's like, I just need one thing, not even 2 things, and IDs. For the listener, I did install some event sourcing stuff for like an hour just to see if it doesn't take me forever to get a hold of, and I was feeling like pretty all right. But the buy-in, it feels like you need to like kind of do stuff to your whole app.
You don't.
Oh, I have to mess with my users table and stuff.
You now don't.
And now I'm like, oh no, I'm not doing it. No.
Yeah. You
But
now
yeah,
don't.
Snowflake
but
IDs.
There was a point where you needed unique IDs on your models, and you don't anymore. And we've actually shipped the change, but not shipped the documentation change that tells you don't have to do this anymore.
Cool. The Verbs docs have a lot of good. This is what's great about it, and I think is like going to be the key to event sourcing. If anybody cracks it, it's going to be, here's what your model looks like. Here's what it looks like with verbs. Here's what your controller looks like. Here's what it looks like with verbs. Like, I have to see what I know to travel to this new thing. Otherwise, I am incapable of wrapping my head around it. So,
Yes.
Yeah. No, I think so.
Yep.
I really do think that I have to make screencasts in order to pull the docs back out of the screencasts.
sure. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
I every time I try and like write like simple docs examples,
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know that I'm telling the story well enough.
Like if
and
you
I
were
think,
telling it to a friend, you would do
Yeah.
a much better job. So you kind of have to do that and then then take that.
I think I just have
narrative
to go ahead and bite the bullet and do like a 5 video series on building an app. And that's just going to have to be what I do.
Make it 10 or 20 videos. And yes, I agree.
You think 10 or 20?
I feel like you could get out I think verbs like onboarding experience could be something that somebody could understand like that.
Yeah, totally.
Yep. And
If you're going to build a whole app, I think
like
you need
that.
to. I think you need to go all the way, and I think it needs to be 10 or 15. They can be shorter, but it needs to
10
be
or 15
pretty
like
thorough.
10-minute episodes.
Yeah, 5 to 10 minute episodes.
Oh, that's totally doable.
I don't know. I mean, I guess that would be good, but I feel like the play for verbs is doubling down on the story of introducing it into an existing application.
Yeah.
Just like, here's that one tricky model, or even the one feature that you want to add. You can wall off the event sourcing into one folder and one trait on your model or something, and one liveware component or whatever. And then you can, I need to be able to wall it off and, just test the waters a little bit.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's really close to that. There were just a few things that started to like crawl out, and I was like, But
Totally.
yeah.
Yep.
Anyway. Yep. And real quick, one thing that somebody replied to something on Twitter that Aaron's trying to leave. You could just leave, Aaron.
We'll wrap this up.
No, it's good. It's good. I don't have anything to do. It's just
somebody said on Twitter that like event sourcing is just a collection of really good ideas, and so you can apply these ideas separate. Like, they didn't say this, but let's say something like item potency. It's like making an action that you can accidentally fire it 10 times and it isn't a destructive thing now. Like there's item potency, there's eventing, I guess, but they listed out like a few things and I was like, oh, that's really cool, because these are all things, CQRS or whatever, like that type of stuff.
So none of that stuff is event sourcing.
CQRS, DDD, all these things, that's where that's where my eyes start to glaze
Agreed,
over.
it's too many things, but
it's too many things.
Event sourcing is sort of an umbrella for these ideas, these patterns. And
so I actually don't think so. I think event sourcing is actually the simple thing, and these patterns grow up around event sourcing.
Okay.
But it's like in the water though. Once you're into event sourcing, you probably know about CQRS too.
Right, I smell you. CQRS is a word that is on verbs. I learned about it more deeply because of verbs.
Boy, it's one of the few jargons that we allowed.
So
y'all allowed CQRS into
it's in a deep
package?
Nested docs page. It's deep.
Wow.
It's nowhere near the front of the website.
Maybe, I don't know.
Next, before you know it, you're gonna have orthogonal architecture on there.
Hexagonal, even, yeah.
Yeah, if you want to go with fewer sides, hex is 6. Is that right?
What's ortho?
Yeah.
Orth is 8, right?
No, that's octagonal.
No, orthopedic doctor is a doctor for 8 bones. It's right. Ortho.
No, it's for spiders who have 8 feet.
That's right.
Yeah.
Ortho.
Yeah, orthogonal architecture, but when there's like diagrams
what
for it, I think it is like a hexagon or an octagon.
Means like doesn't orthogonal mean like like not adjacent, like off in a
Okay, I'm gonna be honest, I had no idea what that word meant when I said it.
Well, like
orthogonally speaking,
hexagonal.
Yeah, people say like, oh, well, that's sort of like orthogonal to the point that I was making. Right. You'd have to like take a right turn to
like tangential.
Yeah, tangential. Good.
Hexagonal of or pertaining to a hexagon.
Right.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, there's that Scottish guy who likes it.
Who likes?
Who likes
Steve,
what?
Steve,
which Scottish guy likes which thing?
Stuff?
I don't remember his name,
or
but I remember he's always posting job posts and saying, as this is a Laravel job, it's suitable for a beginner.
Okay.
You know who I'm talking about.
That's rude.
Feels, don't love that.
All right.
Don't love that at all.
Okay, I'll hit my button of like, okay, I'm ready to leave now too.
I'll wave the white flag.
Yeah.
All right, well, gang, now that the guests have agreed, we're done here.
Yeah, welcome to this is how we do things.
Welcome to No Plans to
Leave. Go to we wish we were done an hour ago.
No control over any of this.
You're outnumbered. That was the mistake.
Yeah, that is the mistake, right? If it was just one of us, we'd abide.
Speaking of hoisted, that was my fault. Mostlytechnical.com at mostlytechpod, mostlytechnicalpodcast at gmail.com. Do you guys want to shill anything besides basic hygiene?
Just basic hygiene for me.
Yeah, every day when I wake up, I go to thunk.dev and I hire me.
Me too.
That's good basic hygiene. All right.
Basic
and on
hygiene.
that, we'll see you next time.